Hi, I'm Gage. I want to introduce you to HyperWriter. HyperWriter is an app I made by myself to help me to write more. And I think it could help you to write more too. It's got a very unique system that I think really pushes you to write. So the first thing is on the right. It's just a list of topics and blog posts that you're going to write. So these are a bunch of things, and I can add a new idea here, um, and that'll show up at the bottom. So the thing that makes this different though is this little text right here. So what it says is it's going to publish the first blog post at the top in 5 days. So basically the idea is it will auto publish this in 5 days, which means that I have to get this ready or else it'll just publish either, like an empty or badly spelled blog post. The nice thing about that is it forces you to write, right? Because if it's going to publish to the world, you don't want something dumb published. At least I have, I don't want to just share something with everyone and not have it be good. So by forcing me to stick to a schedule, it is forcing me to actually write and actually get stuff out. Because I don't know, I just spend forever procrastinating blog posts. I'll say, well, it needs to be rewritten. It needs to fix spelling errors. It's probably not very good grammar. I want to add a bunch of pictures. Like there's so many ways you can procrastinate blogging, right? But this doesn't allow you to do that. You have to publish something. It doesn't matter what it is. Like you can rearrange these guys if you think this one's better or something like that, right? It doesn't really matter. But the point is that you are always publishing. But that kind of introduces an interesting problem. You say, well, now that I'm publishing on a schedule, that's great and all, but what do I write, right? Like if I just dive into a blog post, like where does that come from? And that's kind of where the other two categories come in. So the first part is the bones category. And so basically, I'm going to delete this just to show you what it looks like from the beginning. Delete. I'm just going to delete this guy because it's just an example anyway. So basically, this category is all about just getting stuff out of your head, right? If you're anything like me, a lot of stuff happens in the day. Like a lot of stresses happen to you in your life. Like we all need a really private space to get that out. And that's what the Bones feature provides you with. It allows you to write something out. And so I'll show you one major important thing, which is basically that this is end-to-end encrypted, right? So if I logged out and logged back in, it would ask me for a password, which basically is protects this journal from anyone reading it. Nobody can read it, not even me that owns the database. Like I can't look into this journal, even if I wanted to, because it would just look like ones and zeros. It's basically just, impossible to read unless you have the password. So cool, nobody can read my stuff. The second cool thing about this is that it doesn't allow you to delete anything. So it forces you to always go forward. Your word count is always going up. So if I make a mistake, then it doesn't allow me to delete it. And that is on purpose because we delete a bunch of stuff. Like you don't worry about it, right? Like this is the place you just get stuff out. It's just about output, just getting stuff onto the page. And yes, it'll have spelling errors. Yes, it'll be inconsistent. You'll say things a dumb way. You'll say like constantly, like I do right now. And that's okay, right? Like this is a safe space. So just get stuff out. And the point is to do it every day. It's about consistency, not about how much you write. It does count your word count just to be fun, but really like the point is to do it every day. So as I save this and I go back to the main screen, you see it shows kind of a colored calendar that shows you how many days you've done it in a row. And it's okay if you miss some, it doesn't matter. And in fact, it actually hides this calendar until you've written current day's note to kind of avoid you feeling guilty about not keeping your streak or whatever. Like, who cares, right? It's just getting things out. It's about being consistent. And then the second part is, some like this bones thing is cool, but it's not really a great place to store. Like, I was watching a YouTube video and I want to write down some comments about it, or I was reading this cool blog post and I just want to save it for later to write some more stuff about it, right? Like that's where the ideas category comes in. It's basically just an open text box you can just paste stuff into, and you can post a link if it has an external link. Like maybe I will put in like this one, say progressive enhancement, right? If I save that guy, then it will attach the blog post that it came from, and then I can, take some stuff from this article, and then I could say, PE is blah 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 blah, right? I could write down all these ideas, and then I could, this could kind of become like the outline for a blog post, right? Like it kind of looks like that right now. So is cool. I could write more stuff. Doesn't really matter. The point is, once I have an idea and it's all collected together, these can be all over, right? I can have a bunch of these. And they're organized by the first word in the card, or it could be a phrase if you do a double dash. So I can see all the books here that I've written, or not written, read about, and then collect some notes about them. But once I have something that I want to write about, I can just click this and it becomes an article. It takes all that stuff out. I can format it and then take all that idea stuff and turn it into something you can actually read instead of just a bunch of outline ideas, right? So now you got like this system where you're writing a bunch of stuff down. Another thing that is important with the writing down system is if I take some of this stuff, if it was actually useful or interesting, I could take it and I could save it to a card too. So I could save it, and then now that becomes a card. So now HyperWriter's setting you up for success because you're going to publish on a schedule. You're going to have a ton of ideas saved, and you're going to just be getting stuff out of your head so that you can actually write stuff that's meaningful to other people. Because, I mean, we all need to write things that are more real and raw, not just, a fluffy blog post about top 10 stuff or whatever. And I think HyperWriter is really good at helping you to do that. So I hope you enjoy this. It is free to try out for right now while it's in the beta. So please go to hyperwriter.app and hope to see what you think. Thank you.